In June 2015 we were in Western Zambia to do evangelism, and we then realized that people did not have food. Now remember, people here rely mostly on maize, millet and sorghum, which they plant once a year. They harvest March, April odd, and that harvest has to last them the whole year. So if in June or July they have no more food, you realize they've got another 8 months, 9 months to go without food. We were thinking immediately of helping them with vegetables. But if you want to plant vegetables, you need water. And for many, the closest water is 2 hours walk away. Many have hand-dug wells where they can draw a litre or two of water at a time, enough to live on and enough to drink and cook your food, but certainly not enough to plant any form of vegetables. So we are here in Western Zambia now. Our drilling machine is all flashed up, our truck to pull it is all fired up, and we are now ready to start drilling. We did some research, and typically from the clinic offices you get a good idea of where the concentration of people is, and where there are hand-dug wells and where there are hand pumps. So with that in hand, we approached the local leadership and we asked them for guidance as to where we should drill first. So we now have a list of 5 villages in the Sinjambela Chiefs area where we will start the drilling process. Typically these are villages where there's a huge concentration of people. They do not have a hand pump or a well of any kind, and they are far away from the river. So they would have to walk significant distances, an hour or more, to draw water. So what happens now is Frans goes to each village and he sits down with the leadership of the village, and they discuss the issues surrounding the new borehole. Where will it be placed? Where is a good place to drill? Where will it be safe? The possible outcomes, because when you start drilling you never know what the outcome is going to be. Just to prepare them mentally for the fact that the borehole could be dry, that there could be so little water that the only solution is a hand pump, or there could be abundant water, in which case we would secure funding for a solar solution for them.
Once we've identified the location where we need to drill, we would set up our site in an orderly fashion, and the last step of preparations is basically to fetch enough water. That is always not easy. Sometimes it takes you the whole day to cart water from the river or the closest point where you can find water, because we are looking for water, hence drilling. Once preparations is done, the drilling process can commence. Normally we would drill plus minus 30 meters into the ground, and the process would take up to 4 or 5 hours. During the process of drilling, we would collect soil samples, and that would give us good indication as to where the water table lies, and that would help us determine in the end process where we would put filtration screens for the water to actually come into our storage facility. After the casing has been installed, we are ready for test of the borehole. We would then take a test pump and run it for up to 8 hours. And in this 8-hour period, we could actually determine the yield of the water that we would actually get. And after that, we are ready for installing a solar system.
So once the hole is drilled, we will know how much water it yields, and we get a team in to erect the solar panels and to install the pump. Our Farming God's Way guy Neville then it helps them to lay out where their gardens are going to be. The concept that we have is to get 30-40 families, each gets a little piece of land, 10 meters by 10 meters, on which they farm. They get a turn with the water, typically half an hour or an hour every second day. And Neville's job then is to help them lay out the little plots to ensure that they fence it communally, and he then works with them to start planting their vegetables. The people of this area are very special people. They're gentle, they're loving, they're friendly, they're kind, but they are badly neglected by the whole world. They're on their own, and they look at whatever you do with great hope and great expectation. And we know that God loves them. We know that God wants to help them. And that's why we're here, because we feel so compelled by the need, by the hugeness of what is happening here. We look forward to being able to assist the communities with water for drinking, yes, but mostly water to feed themselves, to plant vegetables.
Out of darkness, out of shame, by the cross you are the truth, you are the life, you are the way.